What is the crack, everyone? It's Nathan here, aka the Rambling Kern, and head instructor of Kern School of Combat. So today's video is one that I have intended to make for quite a while. I feel it's quite an important topic, and one that I think a lot of stick fighters across the board, or weapon users, or people who train with various different kinds of weapons will get a lot out of, especially those new to Irish stick, or those who want to basically try out sparring, kind of test the material that they're learning. Now, if you want to try a class or sponsor my work, you'll find links to my Patreon and my class down in the description. Feel free to drop me a message. Otherwise, the video itself is going to go through a number of drills that we use to progressively introduce people to sparring. Now, I've mentioned in previous videos, not everyone will want to spar, but I feel there's certain attributes that you just cannot get, especially in weapon fighting, if you don't do some level of sparring. So I have included a number of unedited clips of both myself and my students sparring together at various different levels. You'll hear me kind of chime in and give a few notes as to what's going on and the significance of the drills that are being done, just to give you guys an understanding of what it is we're trying to achieve with them. Now, these are not going to be super fancy edited clips. These are just off the cuff at the end of class doing a bit of sparring together. Now, like I said, not everyone's going to do sparring, but you'll see with the way we introduce it, it starts off extremely light, doable for pretty much anyone of any body type or capacity, all the way up to full contact sparring that obviously not everyone will want to do, but for those who are willing to do, they will get a lot out of. Now, like I said, various different levels that we go through, not everyone will do all of them, but there's a usefulness and an importance to each level that are kind of take a level of understanding once you get into and explore. So I'm going to hand you over to that clip now. I hope you guys do enjoy it. Obviously, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Anyway, enough of me talking. On to the clips. So we have multiple levels of sparring. The first we start most people with is hand sparring. Now, as you can see in this video, often this just revolves around purely aiming for the hands. However, we often mix in additional shots to the legs as well, just to get people used to the ranges and the level changes required for taekwondo. You can see here shots to the leg, but primarily working on shots to the hand. Now, even with padded sticks, I'd highly recommend people wear gloves, because it's very easy to take shots to the hand and that hurts significantly. And also, staying honest with your sparring partner, making sure that they as you saw there, that they acknowledge the hits when they come. So next up we have full sparring with padded sticks. Now, this is when people have a bit more equipment and a bit more experience, so once they're able to get hold of their own gloves and their own masks, this is a good stage to move people on to sparring with padded sticks. Now, at this level, this is a good time to get people introduced to taking shots to the head as well as giving shots to the head. This is something a lot of people struggle with when they first start, and it's quite unusual to target someone's head with a weapon. Now, it does take time to build this up, but it is a very simple way to get people used to it. One thing you have to be aware of is, because they are padded sticks, you don't really have any sort of major risk of injury, but you need to make sure that you're still being defensive and not just walking through shots in order to give a shot. So this kind of takes time and coaching to develop. And of course, you can do various different levels with this depending on the skill set of the people involved, if there's specific things you want to limit or change around. Next up we have what's called no wind sparring. So Oshin here is going to give an example of what that means. So here, this whoosh, what we want is a swing where you don't hear anything. This is what we call no wind sparring. So this is to get you to a level where you're using sticks, you're picking your shots, but there's no real risk of the same sort of injuries you'll get from full contact, full hard sparring. So this is the next level in the chain to get people used to sparring, and also getting used to picking the shots and what it's like to actually work with actual hard sticks as opposed to paddle sticks. Finally then we have full sparring with sticks. Now I was going to break down this clip here, unfortunately the camera didn't focus as you can see, so we're actually going to switch over to a different clip which will break down now. So in this clip there's a lot of different things going on here that are quite interesting. Now obviously with full sparring you can limit the sparring itself, you can add various different rules and stipulations to make sure that you're getting the most out of the sparring round as possible. Often one that we'll see and use quite a bit is no grappling. This just gives people the ability to work this without any risk of having to grapple if they're not used to it. However, in this round we did actually do some grappling. However, obviously I'm making sure here to ensure that we're very safe with the grappling, that there's no harsh throws going on, and also being aware of our environment. The last thing you want is to fall into something where you might hurt yourself. Often we'll have a third person on the outside making sure of this. Usually I fill that role. If you don't have someone to do that in your sparring, I highly suggest you do, because it's very easy to fall over or fall into something, and that's usually when injuries happen. Now I'll be quiet and let you watch out the rest of the round. Right folks, so I hope you enjoyed that. Like I said, those are just some of the drills that we use. That's not an exhaustive list. We do also use various other different drills. This was just a few minutes at the end of class that I wanted to set aside for you guys to get a bit of a glimpse as to the things that we do. And like I said, none of these were planned out or highly edited or anything like that. It was just off the cuff to give you guys a bit of an idea of the sort of sparring and the drills that you can use and utilize for yourself, for your own training partners, or if you have a club, just to kind of give you guys a bit of an overview of the things that you can do. Like I said, I feel it's very important to spar and regularly pressure test whatever the material it is you do, be it a grappling art, a striking art, or a weapon art, because without that you're going to miss out on vital nuances that you will only really learn through sparring and pressure testing. Now, like I said, full contact is not for everyone, but you can do some of the earlier padded drills all the way up to the kind of no-win sparring that I show in the clips. And like, you know, we have various different drills in between those that we use as well, all the way up to the full contact. And even prior to the full contact, we have kind of dialed back levels of that too. And we have various different rules that we'll agree upon. Some guys in my group don't grapple, they aren't used to it, so that being a major one that we kind of discuss sometimes, and you know, various other different ones. So like I said, this is just a very brief overview and guideline, but I think it's very important that we spar as often as we can to a safe and reasonable level, and to a level that our partners are able to do. Because there's no point throwing in a complete newbie right at the deep end, because one, they probably will get hurt, and two, they probably won't want to come back, and three, they won't really learn. It's very important when we spar as well to not have a winning mindset. We're there to learn. It's not a fight to the death, but I think that's kind of an important video for another day. So like I said, if you guys have any questions, if there's anything else you would like to see or have me discuss, feel free to pop a comment down below. I try to respond to everyone's comments, and I think this video might have a lot of queries and a lot of interest from you guys. So like I said, please do let me know. If there's anything you'd like to see in future, pop me a message, let me know. And otherwise, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't, please give us a like and subscribe. Every tiny little bit helps. So once again, folks, thank you very much, and slán.